How you going, people? Pretty good little video on a pursuit and the dangers of a pursuit. So I'll turn the volume down a little bit so you don't have to hear all the siren too loud. His audio is going to come on in a minute. So these three teens just robbed a bank. One of them's got an AK-47. And I think this is our suspect vehicle right here.
44 is getting up behind him as well.
It's going to be Wisconsin 737 SM MRAW Williams 737 S.
Okay, so he knows the cop's behind him. Cop probably got a little close. I probably wouldn't have got that close until I, acted like I would have stayed in this lane, acted like I didn't see him, and got units en route, see if I can get a chopper in the air or whatever. I want more people. I'm dealing with 3 people, and one of them's got an AK. They just robbed a bank. I want more people before I start letting them know I'm there. So I probably would have backed off. This cop, I don't know why, not saying he's bad. He sounds pretty good on the radio, so sounds like he's been in a few pursuits. I just wouldn't let him know I was that close on him that quick. I would have tried to stay back and let him think I didn't know it was them.
MW southbound 237.
So it gets reckless here. Green light. You can tell the guy's running now. Kicks on a siren.
Control, he's not going to stop. It's going to be our guy. We're in lane 1. He's switching to lane 2.
737.
Seriously reckless driving. Nice turn there. Really good quick turn. The guy driving the getaway car is doing a pretty good job.
Out the window.
He almost loses this cop. Now people are going to say, man, aren't cop cars faster? Why can't they? Look, cops are doing a lot more in a pursuit than just driving. The guy in front,
Behind bottle.
he's giving locations here, telling he's going to the bridge. Pursuit goes on for a while. So we're running stop signs. Cops are like, I got to update where we're at. I'm looking at road signs. I'm talking on the radio. I got one hand on the radio. I'm looking out for other people so I don't kill somebody. So it's much harder for cops to drive as quick as this guy's going because we're trying to take care of a few things while we're driving. Radio, not hitting things, not hitting people, avoid. So brakes are heating up right about now. They've done some pretty good quick speed stops. Guys passing on the right. I would have been putting that out to show the dangerous. When you're in a pursuit, the more you can get out on the radio, it makes it better when it goes to court. I would have been putting out, he's driving a reckless, he just ran a red light, he passed on a median, endangering another car. He just made a wide turn and ran a truck off the road right here. Speeds. The guy chasing him isn't putting out a whole bunch of that. And I really like making a running log when I'm chasing people because it helps me when I report later, and it sounds better in court if the guy wants to fight. So see, this cop has to worry about these cars, and again, the cop is reacting to the driver's actions. The driver gets to do whatever he wants, and the cop has to react. Action's always faster than reaction. Now, I noticed during this pursuit that the cop kept a really long distance from this guy. And I was like, when I'm chasing somebody on these straightaways, I'm getting up on his butt. And then that way, when I have to make a turn or dodge traffic or almost, tell the cop almost hit a little wide there. He's gaining control back now. Like I said, you want to increase that distance it gets closer. Now, I didn't know the guys were shooting at him with AK-47. He puts this out later. So because he's just chasing him and he's not putting out the dangers of this, he's not really letting people know how dangerous this is escalating and how deadly force is authorized. This guy's a severe danger to the public. He needs to be pitted, he needs to be stopped, he needs to be shot at. He didn't put out that he got shot at till, like, he threw it in a sentence. And that's why I'm figuring out he's keeping his distance, because they were shooting rounds at him. If he'd have got out, shots fired, we attempted murder on an officer, he's trying to shoot me. Now we're upping all the antes and we're getting this crime much more serious to where when people engage these guys, they're not just engaging them as a bank robber that ran. Because according to this guy, they're just running right now. And that's where I think the officer kind of shorted himself by not updating and making. You have to sometimes not make up and lie your exigency, but you have to create your you have to create your probable cause. You have to create your reasonable suspicion. You have to create that sometimes verbally over the radio, because if this officer goes down or crashes, other officers have to know how to act and what they're dealing with. And right now, most officers responding, 3 dummy bank robbers are running. They're driving crazy. Let's go get them. They haven't shot at anybody yet because this guy hadn't told anybody they were shooting at him.
3-4, head to the bridge from Eastern. What's the one you address?
See, on these straightaways, man, I'd be flooring it and getting close. And again, this guy's shooting at him, so that's probably why he's keeping a distance. But you want to be as close to the guy as you can, because, again, when he makes arrows, you want to be on top of him. And sometimes you need to use more caution when you make turns, and the closer you are, the less you have to catch up. If you keep falling behind on every turn, that's how you lose guys.
We're almost to Links Drive now.
We hit the water now overnight.
So we're running red lights. We're going through things dangerous. He's endangering the public. He's endangering the officer. He's endangering other cars on the road. Again, none of this is getting put out on the radio. I haven't heard anybody say armed robbery suspect. I haven't heard. He put out the vehicle and the license plate once. He doesn't put out that he's got an AK out the window. I think he might put it out once or twice before he says that they're shooting.
What direction of water tower? I'm getting ready to set up stop station again.
Stand by, they're about to turn the water tower now. Yeah, they're heading, they went right, going toward Longs.
So right about now, the brakes are heating up. You're losing stopping power. When you think you can turn, you're going to start overshooting turns. You have to start braking earlier because you know it's going to take longer to stop and your brakes are heating up. That's why the bad guy usually makes mistakes, is they don't take all that in consideration. Like I said, this guy driving is doing a pretty good job.
Okay, I'm at water tower and
Copy, we'll be heading your way momentarily. Just be careful, we've got his AK out the back passenger side window, right?
First time I heard about an AK. Been chasing this guy for almost 5 minutes. First time I heard about an AK out the window. Really?
Right now, he's firing at me.
got an AK.
That's affirmative, be careful.
I think that was another unit saying, did he say shots fired? No, he hasn't said that yet. I think he threw in there when the AK's out the window, he's shooting at me.
That's affirmative, he's been shooting me the whole time.
Now he just said, that's affirmative. We're shooting.
That's affirmative, he's been shooting me the whole time. We're about to come around the curve, Tommy.
So what he's doing here is he's letting the guy know where they're coming, and this guy's about ready to throw out some spike strips. Throwing out spike strips on a car that has a rifle that is shooting at cops, I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm shooting at the cars that come by. I'm not throwing out, risking my life, throwing spike strips out. To me, that guy who threw the spike strips out here in a minute should have been with a long gun at his car, and as they drove by, he should have been filling that car full of lead. That's just me. Remember, deadly force. That force which is likely to cause seriously bodily injury and or death. These guys have used deadly force against officers and the public. Therefore, deadly force is authorized against them. Clear cut, no ifs, ands, buts, or coconuts. You can shoot these guys on sight. So I think he got shot or he blew a tire. I don't know if he got shot at that distance or not, but I'm going to go back 20 seconds and let y'all take a look at that. Oh, he just missed those poles.
Control, I've been hit. Ran off the road.
I've been hit and ran off the road. I don't know if that means I've been hit with a bullet. He got hit with a car. Again, this guy is not putting out good, high-risk information that cops need to know. But
10-4, you're on copy.
so here's our spike strip dude. So because he has spike strips in his hands, guess what's not in his hands? Yeah, his gun. You got a guy coming, 3 guys just robbed a bank, shooting at another officer with an AK. You're standing there with no gun on a marked unit on the side of the road that they're going to drive by. And you're going to throw spike strips out? Not me.
I'm fine. My car's hit up.
Okay, where are they?
Almost visually should be one way now. He got spun out.
So here, the guys take off. I never hear anybody put out 3 black males running southbound down this street. No information. I just heard they're wiped out. You'll notice in a minute another officer's going to come here and be like, which way do they go? And he starts driving circles.
My car's operational. I'm coming. Now, did I hit water tower?
So I heard 3 on foot. Here's our 3 teens running off.
All right, get the family coming?
I keep pushing back and forth, let them know where you are.
This guy's still at his car that threw out the spike strips. Hasn't engaged, hasn't shot, hasn't gave foot pursuit. Still at his car.
Which way they go, Tommy?
Where are they? They're on the foot.
Which way they head? Oh, hell, I don't know. I'll just drive circles. So now the guy in the spike in this who threw the speed strips got back in his car, and this is him coming. All right, so good, bad, and different. Hey, I'm not saying these cops are bad, mean, horrible. I'm not trying to say I know everything. I'm just pointing out things that you learn from experience that I see that maybe could have been done better. Take it for what it's worth, and we'll end that there.